is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's go to calls quick now. We're not going to say anything else, folks. We're going to take your calls. Freddie in North Dakota, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Go ahead.
I was just listening to you talk about that city that they're building up there, and was just curious if you'd ever heard or knew of Bill Cooper.
Yes, he was a UFO guy. Yeah, he covered a lot of that kind of stuff.
Right. He's from my hometown. I'm up in North Dakota now, so I can make my child support payments. But he actually relocated right before he got killed to Springerville, Arizona, and he pirated a radio station up on top of the hill, and he talked a lot about the things that are just starting to, that a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, no, he did talk about a lot of stuff that's just come true and happened. A very interesting radio broadcaster. Anything else?
Yeah, and I just wanted to let you know that few weeks ago, I heard you mention a couple times that you didn't know because they came in and got him, and used the sheriff's department, but it was other people that got him, and you said a couple times how you don't know why you're allowed to live, and I'm here to tell you right now that I believe that it's God that's allowed you to live, and
well, they've tried to set me up a lot of times. They've tried to set me up a lot of times and things, but I appreciate your call. You know, in the case of Bill Cooper, he was a really good broadcaster, interesting guy. He was a super ultra hothead. And there were kids that kept partying on the land next to his, and then he would run them off, and then the police came, and if you read the police report, he shot one of them in the face before they shot him. And I'm not glad that they shot him. I think it's terrible. But I think that's one reason I'm alive is I'm not, Yeah. I mean, if kids are making too much noise, I'm going to go ask them nicely to be quiet a few times, then I'm going to call the police on them. I'm not going to go wave firearms at them. But that's a side issue. He was under a lot of stress. He was a highly decorated gunboat captain from Vietnam, probably had PTSD. But he was a really smart guy, and did a great broadcast one time where he gave me the BSer Award of the Century. I really liked that. It's ridiculous, but good stuff there. Kind of weird, though, trivia. The average listener the average Patriot show just talks about all this archaic, stuff, and there's no real news. But we cover news here. Jesse in Texas, go ahead.
Hey, Alex, I hope you feel better, first off, and hope you don't have whatever that thing that's been going on here.
Well, we'll see. Soon I'll have a cough button back, so I'll have to cough on air.
Yeah. First off, I just want to say I think it's more frightening that probably most Americans won't even hear that they've been training to basically come against us in our homes and places of business and whatnot. I think that's more frightening that people just don't pay attention.
Well, I mean, this happens all over the world. This is standard. We know exactly what's happening. And we give people all the facts and the documents and everything else, and it's just unbelievable. They're training for a total paramilitary takeover of the country during an organized collapse.
Yep. And I had another thing, too. I tried to send emails to you guys, and it seems that Google blocks my emails. Whenever I send them, it says it's a invalid destination.
Yeah, who knows?
We'll
have to look into that. I appreciate your call. I really can't do little factoid inside baseball stuff here on air because I don't know.
Alex, if they were training against the Russians, if they had a Russian city, if they had Russian signs all over everything, don't you think that the Russians would understand that they were the target? But the American people don't understand that they're the target, even when they put it in their face like this.
No, you're right. They just keep denying. The military goes, no, it's not for you, even though it's churches and street signs. And
we go back and we look at the run-up to Hitler and we say, how could everybody have missed the signs? People don't want to believe that this could happen. And so they push this off, and it's essentially a double think, like they talked about in 1984. Like Orwell talked about, you can hold these contradicting views at the same time. You can suppress what you actually see out there is happening and hold this sunny disposition.
Well, exactly. I mean, Obama doesn't have a lot of supporters now, but still those that do support him just say, well, he's a winner and you're just mad that, our guy's in. I wasn't for George W. Bush either.
Oh, this goes back a long way. I mean,
Exactly. I mean,
back to Oliver North and Rex 84 and even beyond that.
Look at the Republican leadership.
Yeah.
Absolutely working with Obama to get Obamacare passed. Why hasn't Obamacare been repealed? Totally unpopular.
Oh, yeah. Well, why haven't they done anything about the NSA?
Because this is what the establishment wants.
Exactly.
The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com.
Final segment. I want to jam in as many phone calls as possible. Briefly, it's up on Infowars.com from ClimateDepot.com. Bill Nye confuses South Pole with North Pole in climate debate. He's now admitted that it was wrong. The North Pole and the South Pole have record ice right now. They always point satellites at it in the summer when they shrink.
I can understand how you get that confused because it's down at the Antarctic where it's summer where these guys got stuck on the ice, and they had to get the rescuers to come pick them up.
Point is just that
got stuck.
Point is it's all a fraud, but
yeah.
The reason I raise this is that they're not making a mistake. When they get caught, they backtrack. Look at Kerry saying the volcano was caused by global warming. I mean,
that's right, man-made global warming. So there's two different things. They're saying that it's man-made global warming volcanoes. So,
which has nothing to do with it.
No.
I mean, no scientists say that. I mean, this is just total kookville. But they want to get carbon taxes in and take over society. Jay in North Carolina, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, Alex. I woke up on 9/11 and I found you a year later, and we're trying to work on solutions to the problems that we're having. I'm worried about a lot of things in this country. I listen to you every day. We're constituting common law grand juries in all 3,141 counties. We've got 94 counties constituted right now. New York, this started in New York State, and they have 64 counties. They've got over half of their counties. They've got 33 constituted, and they're having elections in another 15 counties this week.
Yeah, here's the deal. The New World Order doesn't recognize all that, and I understand that in policy, you could say that it has some place in common law since the Magna Carta of 1215. It's just some of the talk show hosts and people that every year, that this is going to fix everything, and it never does. And they just restart the thing up over again. But send me some info on that information. We need to change the entire culture back to a culture of liberty, where people are informed about their basic freedoms and jealously guard them. Jealously guard them. Let's go ahead and talk to, who's up next here? Wiz in Ohio. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Alex, David, it's a pleasure to talk to you both. Alex, I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
You're under the weather.
Hey, you've got the Army up there trying to confiscate your guns. It's in the news. How do you like that?
Well, actually, I'm just passing through Ohio, but I travel a lot through Ohio, Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Carolinas. So I get around. But the main point that I was wanted to raise was that people say, well, this is the problem. The problem is the NSA, or the problem is this, or the problem is that. And that's true. Those things are all.
The problem is we have a rogue criminal government.
Well, actually, I think the problem lies with the American public itself.
I agree.
They will only get away with as much as the American public allows them to. So that's one of my main points. My question for you, Alex and David, is this. Here's Obama now in his second term. Already, okay, so his...
Setting the precedent to be a dictator so that he can leave and a new dictator come in, yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. He's now...
And again, it's a new thing. It's an elected dictator.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in, they get elected, but then they operate as a dictatorship outside of the other branches of government.
Yes.
My point is that his approval ratings are so low, and all this stuff, but the damage is already done. I don't understand why the American public doesn't recognize these things much more quickly. It's just history repeating.
Because they were raised from birth with 5 poisons put in their water, as the Time magazine admits, to brain damage them. I appreciate your call. And because they were raised watching television the whole time. Go ahead.
No, I said thanks for taking my call. First time caller. Have a great night.
Thank you. God bless you for calling in.
You look at what's going on with Congress. They've only got a 9% approval rating. So I guess he's looking.
Look, I found it at 6%. I found it and put it up earlier.
Yeah.
I found it. In fact, I'll put it back up again right now.
So he says I can go a lot further. They don't like me. They can go further down.
Yeah, it's 6. It's now 6.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Mark in Missouri. Mark, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Alex,
Hey, buddy.
how we doing?
I'm doing all right. Go ahead.
Hey, I wanted to make a quick point here. The United States is supposed to be a Protestant nation. That's how it started. And we are under attack by the same forces that drove people here in the first place in search of religious freedom. And the reformers, Luther, Wycliffe, Huss, Calvin, their research proved that the Pope of Rome is the Antichrist, and the first beast in Revelation 13, if you use the Bible to decipher the prophecy, is the Roman Catholic Empire, and the second beast with lamb-like horns that speaks like a dragon is the United States.
Sure. Let me just say this, though. Let me just say this. We opened the phones up to talk about the military stuff, and it's fine that people are calling in about everything under the sun. It's kind of interesting. But I just want to ask this question, and I know this country was founded originally as a colony, predominantly Protestant. My ancestors on both sides of the family came over on the Mayflower in one group of my kin on my mom and dad's side. But at the same time, sure, people can sit there and talk about the fights of the Reformation and all the stuff that went on with Martin Luther and the rest of it, and kind of the Reformation coming out of the Renaissance. And that undoubtedly is what happened historically. My issue is all these big mainline Protestant churches are like, turn your guns in, worship government. The government is basically, Obama is basically the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the United States government doing everything it can to kind of, and I'm not defending Catholics, I'm not getting into a fight on this, but the media and stuff has been going after the Catholics, in my view. So I think there's a balkanization here. I think down the road things will get more consolidated. David, what's your take? And I appreciate your call.
Well, I think the real danger here is the church's interpretation in so many places of Romans 13. To say that if the government is there, God put it there, you better get down and bow to it. That's not the proper interpretation. We got a great book by Chuck Baldwin that we sell here about that. People need to educate themselves. Just read it and substitute Hitler and see if that makes any sense.
Well, the entire Bible is about people being killed or tortured for not following government orders.
Yeah, you can see what the Apostle Paul did. I mean,
You mean the terrorist?
Yeah, he stood up for his rights. I mean, all through the Bible, you have a pattern of people standing up for their freedom, standing up to defend the defenseless, to
according to
the fatherless, and to help other people, and to take the lead in that, to be shepherds in that. It's not to be passive to evil men. That's not the intent of the Bible.
Well, that's right.
You see it throughout.
But people just want to cop out. They're scared of the government.
That's right.
And so the government's going to eat their lunch with the criminals that run it. I mean, it's that simple, folks. A nation of sheep will be ruled by wolves. And according to these modern churches, Christ would be a terrorist. He spoke out against the banks. He beat bankers with bullwhips, with cat o' nine tails. So there you go. Or was it a riding crop? I forget. What was it he beat him with in the temple? It was some kind of whip.
Yeah.
And he'd be sent to Gitmo for that today.
That's right.
Let's talk to Justin in Colorado. Justin, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex.
Hey.
Hey, I just want to say I've been listening to you for about 9 years, and I've been listening to you religiously. I love you guys. All right, but I moved out to this town in Colorado about 3 years ago from L.A. to work in the oil field. There's no work out in L.A., so I moved out here, and I've never seen any chemtrails ever. And this is a small town, about 2,500 people.
That's the weather modification that's going on. The government admits they're doing.
Yeah.
They call it geoengineering, though. Go ahead.
Or persistent contrails.
I've seen I know about the chemtrails. I've seen all the videos. I've seen everything.
No, I was talking for new listeners that may not know what that is.
All right, sorry, sir.
And he thought I was putting him down.
Oh.
So you see, there's a thing in talk radio where you've got to introduce a topic. Nobody does this free for all, where it's just any. Oh, our phone system just shut down. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, good. And I might sound grumpy towards the callers today. I apologize. I'm really sick.
Yeah. I can't believe you're doing the radio. I saw you before the show. I didn't think you were going to do the whole show.
Well, it's a lot better than just laying on the couch of the bed feeling like I've been run over.
Yeah.
It was a lot better, actually. It's kind of warm, too, and a little toasty. I could roast chestnuts on my face or whatever.
That's right.
Anyways, great job with the crew coming in on Sundays. We're here every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then, of course, weekdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you can go to the audio and free video feeds and everything at Infowars.com/show. It has the free podcast. And we'll turn this around if people just spread the word about the show and don't act like slaves to government. I mean, if I was walking down the road and ran from a chihuahua, it would chase me trying to bite me. And the wicked flee when none pursue. Well, we flee from the system and grovel to it and bow. And I see the average American, and it's just incredible how much they love to grovel. And I think about how un-American that is. And I think about seeing the movie finally last night on Blu-ray of Captain Phillips, which is a true story, how nobody on the ships can arm themselves. Only government can. So it took a troop ship and 2 destroyers to save him. And then it's like, oh, they're heroes and all this stuff. And it's just like, what a joke.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.